Yep. Ladies, fellas, welcome to the Week 11 NFL Grind with DFS Rebels. It's your boy, Double D. I'm here with my boy, Twitch. Before I go any further, smash that like button. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. But make sure you join the rebellion.
All right, week 10 is down. That was another profitable week. Now it's week 11. What are we starting off with this week? We're starting off with the big old Philly game this week.
We got the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are a 2.5 favorite, and over and under is 47 points. The injury report, very short. Browns, Myles Garrett has COVID, so he's going to not be available this week. That's big for the Cleveland Browns defense. And then OBJ's out.
The fucking Rona took off its helmet and hit Myles Garrett in the head with it.
Yep, and then for the Eagles, Ertz and Deshaun Jackson are out. So, yeah. You start us off. What are you thinking?
It's going to be interesting to see how, the Browns do without the big weather concerns. They've been getting some bad games with that. But I actually do love the running game in this. Philly is 26th against the rush, and you have two solid running backs on Cleveland with Hunt and Chubb. Last week, Hunt did out-snap Chubb, but I don't see that happening again. I think Chubb is going to start taking over this week, and he should run all over that Philadelphia defense. When you look at the Philly running side, it was kind of weird to see Miles Sanders just sitting over there while both Corey Clement and Boston Scott get touchdowns last week. But going against this 8th-ranked running defense, the Cleveland Browns, I don't see any of that happening unless you get like a Miles Sanders like a receiving touchdown that I think is actually possible. A lot of people I talk to do like Carson Wentz because they should be behind and he should be throwing the ball, and he has all of his targets. He has Goddard, he has Alshon Jeffrey and Rager and Fulgham. Rager is now in the lead with targets over Fulgham. I personally love Goddard this week. Looking at the passing side on Cleveland, I hate it all. I don't want any of it. What about you?
Starting with the Philadelphia Eagles, I like Carson Wentz. I like Miles Sanders. And I like Goddard as well. Jalen Reagor, I like him. Let's see, these other running backs, Boston Scott and Clement. Nah, I think they're gonna give Miles Sanders the majority of the carries. So yeah, Miles Sanders, Carson Wentz, Goddard, and Jalen Reagor. I'm on. And Travis Fulgham is looking good, but he only had one catch for 8 yards last week, so I don't know. Yeah. How many targets did he get? 5 targets, okay.
Now, the Browns, their corner, Denzel Ward, he's not like a true shadow corner, so he's not just going to be on Rager. He's going to see Rager and Fulgham this game. But like I said earlier, Rager, he had 7 targets and Fulgham had 5 targets. So Rager is in the target lead on this offense.
Yeah, and then for the Browns, very short. I like Chubb. I like Kareem Hunt. Mayfield is he's gonna be on the higher end of the pass attempts because actually, I don't know. It depends on the game script you want to put on this game. They could run heavy. I don't know, but I do like. Probably my favorite target is Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Really.
Yeah. I'm on the side where I think Cleveland's just gonna run the ball a lot, so I'm off the passing game entirely.
Yeah.
And I do like the passing game.
I like Jarvis Landry a little bit in PPR leagues, but I'm fading the Cleveland game
this
as well.
Game in general, I'm just not a big fan of.
Yeah. Next game up, we got a good one. The Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are a 3.5 point favorite. The over and under is 49 points. This is going to be a New Orleans Saints team that we're not used to. No Drew Brees coming into the injuries. Drew Brees is definitely out, and he's going to be out for a little while. We all thought it was going to be Winston, but it looks like
Taysom
Hill season. Also out for the Saints. Marshawn Lattimore, limited practice questionable. He's going to be game time decision. Kiko Alonso out. And for the, the Eagles? Who's playing? Who was the Saints playing? The Atlanta Falcons. There's Atlanta Falcons. They had no injury. That's why I didn't write it down.
Got it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they had nothing that's really...
Nothing to note about.
All right, well, right off the bat, let's just talk about the fucking stupidity of FanDuel and ESPN leagues, leaving Taysom Hill in the tight end position. FanDuels will definitely have that fixed next week. ESPN, I don't think, is allowed to change it during a whole season league, so that's probably going to stick. But take advantage of that stupidity. I'm telling you right now, don't listen to these people who want to sound clever and want to be cute where they say fade Taysom Hill at tight end on FanDuel. There was absolutely no reason to fade him at $4,500 on FanDuel at tight end. You're just starting 2 quarterbacks. And I don't care if he's 90% owned. I'll get different somewhere else. Listen, because he's not going to be 100 because there's going to be people who are just being cute and want to say fade him because they think they're clever. There's nothing clever. All he has to do is hit 13 points to hit value. He is a running quarterback. Just lock him in every fucking cash lineup you do, and he's definitely solid in GPPs as well. Next week, he's going to be like a $9,000 tight end. So maybe then you could fade him. Oh no, no. Like I said, FanDuel isn't going to have him in tight end anymore. But he'll be a higher priced quarterback. But as for the rest of the game, with Taysom Hill in, I don't like Michael Thomas as much. Not saying Taysom Hill doesn't have the skill to get it to him. It's just Michael Thomas hasn't shown it this year. I really just don't think he wants to be on the Saints anymore. He's turned into a little diva. What I do absolutely love, though, is Jared Cook going up against the Falcons, who lead the league in letting tight ends get that touchdown over them. So Jared Cook with Josh Hill out is one of my favorite plays. And then, of course, how can you not like Alvin Kamara, especially coming out of that explosion last week? And personally, I really think Latavius Murray has a great week as well. Because, again, they also are going to probably run the ball a lot, trying to ease Taysom Hill into this into the game script and everything. On the other side of the field, Falcons, I really don't know what to do with them. They're so on and off. I'm completely off Gurley. He has the agility.
I'm fading Gurley.
He has the agility of a refrigerator. I know Janoris Jenkins will probably be on Ridley. It doesn't even matter if he's on Julio Jones. Julio Jones is matchup proof. Ridley's back, so that's good. I'm off of Hayden Hurst with Ridley back. But I could definitely see Matt Ryan being a good GPP play with, and you can pair him up with Ridley or Julio Jones. I see that being a perfect pairing. What do you think?
I'm going to start with the Atlanta Falcons. I like Matt Ryan this week. I think the Falcons are playing much better after firing their coach, not too long ago. And Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley's back. I like all those guys. I'm going to fade Gurley. I'm not going to be on the Gurley chain this week, but on this game, Falcons, I really do like Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Ridley. And Hayden Hurst, not so much. Fading him, there's a lot of other options at tight end. And for the Saints, man, I guess just Taysom Hill, man, and you just got to play him.
Yeah. I mean, not on DK, but on FanDuel's. Yes,
FanDuel's, I'm sorry. I should have said FanDuel's. He's because I play mainly on FanDuel's, but I play DK too. But, the Saints is hard because I'm not used to this team without Drew Brees. And I thought I was really prepared for Winston. I thought it was gonna be Winston to fucking Michael Thomas all day, but it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be Taysom Hill with all these trickery plays. He's gonna run the ball a lot. He's mobile. He can run and throw. But
you were telling me earlier that you like the Latavius Murray.
Yeah, I do. I don't know what they expect out of Taysom Hill, and they might go run heavy script, a run heavy game script with Latavius Murray. A lot of people are gonna be off him. They're gonna be on Kamara. They're gonna be on Taysom Hill, but Latavius Murray might be a sneaky play. He's gonna be the low own, and he has sneaky 15 carry upside, and with possible goal line work with goal line work.
Yep,
so
I love that.
Yeah, those are the guys I'm going for in this game.
Like I said, my favorite is the Taysom Hill at the tight end position on FanDuel. Latavius Murray for Dave, and for me, Jared Cook all day.
Next game up, we got the New England Patriots versus the Houston Texans. The New England Patriots are a 2-point favorite. The over and under is 49 points.
Oh yeah.
The injury report for the Texans: Laramie Tunsil, doubtful. That's a big one.
Yep.
The offensive tackle. Who else? Kenny Stills, limited practice, questionable. David Johnson and Bernard McKinnon is both out. For the Patriots, McKeel Harry, limited practice, questionable. Damian Harris, limited practice, questionable. Stephen Gilmore, limited practice, questionable. And Julian Edelman is out.
All right.
So a lot of things going on there. So a lot of guys are questionable, but a lot of these guys I think are going to play.
Yeah. Well, okay. You just first thing you got to look at. You got to look at the rushing game. I think with Houston coming in dead last against the rush, going against the Patriots, who are the second best at running the ball, and that's also because their quarterback Cam Newton runs a lot as well because he has I think it's like a 3-to-7 ratio of touchdown interceptions. That's awful. They have 4 touchdowns on the year, and one of them was from Jacoby Myers. But Cam is definitely usable this week against this D.
This is a juicy matchup for him.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know who to choose, like between.
And you think he's gonna be high on?
No, I don't think he's gonna be high. I think he's like mid-owned. But if you can't decide between like Rex Burkhead and Damian Harris and one of the running backs, Cam Newton's definitely a solid play because he's still gonna pass the ball and get points.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers has looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's filled in for that role for Julian Edelman perfectly. He just has better chemistry with Cam Newton. So this is definitely going to be his spot moving forward. I don't know what they're going to do with Edelman when he comes back. I love Jacoby Myers this week. I love Cam. I think that's a great stack this week.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a great stack this week. I don't know.
Well,
one thing is Bird. Bird is going up against Hargreaves, who's one of the worst cornerbacks in the league. He's awful. So Bird can be a very sneaky multiple entry GPP play. I do love that. Rizzo is out, which means absolutely nothing to me. Going across the field, Deshaun Watson might be my absolute favorite play this week. Especially the Patriots should win this. So if I was going to do anything and choose Jacoby Myers and like Rex Burkhead, I would love to bring it back with Deshaun Watson and some of his receivers. I think that's the way to go. That's the game script I like. I'm stacking this game heavy. Deshaun Watson's one of my favorites. Brandon Cooks has become the lead receiver out there since the coaching's changed. He's led in snaps and in targets. Fuller still leads in air yards, so Fuller's always very capable of being an awesome play. And especially if Gilmore is out. But I absolutely love Cooks, Fuller, Deshaun Watson. I love all three of them. I would even potentially stack all three of them and run it back with Rex Burkhead. What do you think on this game?
This is a good game stack. I like both offenses. Both offenses for the Patriots and the Texans. First with the Texans, Deshaun Watson definitely. He's going to be chalky, but I think this is a good week to use him. They said Kenny Stills is limited. So Todd Fuller and what's the other receiver?
Will Fuller, not Todd Fuller.
Will Fuller.
Will Fuller and Cooks.
Brandon Cooks. I love.
The thing about Duke Johnson, he was he never left the field last week. He didn't do shit, but he didn't leave the field last week with David Johnson not there.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this is gonna be a lot of points scored, and then because the Texans' defense is not good right now. I mean, at one point they were not too long ago, but this is not the year. And the Patriots, they're just a tricky team. I mean, and I love Cam Newton this week. His rushing upside gives me a lot of. I like that. And then against this Texas defense, they're worse against the rush. So I think Cam Newton's gonna get at least 15 carries, definitely goal line carries. Gonna score some touchdowns. I like Cam this week, and Jacoby Myers is my favorite target for him. I'm gonna fade Damian Bird. What's his name? Damian Bird.
Oh yeah.
Damian Bird.
Against Hargreaves though, it's kind of juicy.
You got a point there. You got a point. But yeah, those are the guys I like. None of the defenses, but I like both quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson and Cam Newton.
Like you just really go into this game. You just got to pay attention that Houston is last against the rush, and New England is the second best rushing team. That's something to really pay attention to in this game.
Next game up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Steelers are a heavy favorite here, 10.5 point favorite. The over and under is 46 points. One injury note about for the Steelers, Devin Bush, even though that's a big one, he is out. For the Jaguars, Laveska Chenault, he's out this week. Also out is C.J. Henderson, cornerback, and D.D. Westbrook.
All right. Let's
So-
talk about Big Ben, how good he is with a 22 to 4 touchdown interception ratio.
Yeah, that's just, I didn't expect that to be that good. That's pretty good.
And he's ranked 5th in touchdown passes. He's Steelers' only undefeated team.
Yeah.
They're looking fantastic.
Yeah, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, they're looking
What can
very
this
solid.
Jacksonville do against this elite defense?
I don't know. This is one of the chalkier defenses of the week.
If you look
Everyone's going to be on the Steelers defense.
If you look at the defense like statistics, you're looking at the Pittsburgh, who was ranked 5th against the pass, while Jacksonville was ranked 30th. You have Pittsburgh, which is 9th against the rush, while you have Jaguars, who are 25th. Mm-hmm. Then you have Pittsburgh 3rd against points per game, only allowing an average of 19 points, while you have Jacksonville at 31st, allowing over 30 points a game.
Crazy.
Like that's just
Yeah.
no. James Conner has had some really easy matchups lately, and he's done absolutely nothing. So this might actually be a game where he finally does something. Because if Pittsburgh is up really high like they're supposed to be, and like I think they're going to be, I think it's James Conner running route. Mm-hmm. But of course they're going to have to get in the lead somehow. So what are you going to do with the three-headed monster? Juju, Claypool, Deontay Johnson. I'm personally going
James
after
Washington.
I'm personally going after Deontay Johnson.
Eric Ebron.
We'll get to him. I'm personally going over Deontay Johnson. He's just been a beast. He's had double-digit targets the last 2 games. He's been fantastic. I love him. He has a great matchup. I know Juju is going to get Trey Hedman in the slot. Claypool was supposed to get Henderson, but now Henderson's out. And Deontay is going to get Sidney Jones. They all have good matchups. And Eric Ebron, like you just mentioned, he's so weird this year. I don't know if he's good or bad. Mm-hmm. He's worth it. I mean, he's worth a shot. If you don't want to, if you can't decide between the three-headed monster, you can go Ebron. Across the field, this might be the last we see of Jake Luton. We'll see if he can get some of that shine back that he had in game 1. But since he's been on the field, since he's been in the last 2 games, DJ Chalk has had 17 targets, Conley has 16 targets, and Cole has had 9. So he actually really does like Chris Conley. It might be a fantastic play.
That's
for
interesting. Very interesting for your GPP guys
Absolutely.
out there.
And then, of course, how can you forget James Robinson, who's just been the fucking bell cow. He's been the out-of-nowhere guy that came out and exploded. Except I'm not too much on him against this Steelers defense, especially when they're going to be playing from behind. Thoughts?
Fading everybody in the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to be playing from behind. If they somehow somebody explodes, I'm going to let them beat me this week. I'm going to fade them. I'm going to be very high. I think maybe every lineup that I play this week might have the Steelers defense.
Steelers defense?
Yeah, I'm paying up for them this week, I think. This is a knockout, one of those games where the Steelers defense will shine. They're going against a rookie quarterback who's, not that well known. I like the Steelers defense. And I wouldn't be surprised if Big Ben is in one of the top 10 and top 5 lineups this week. He might be in the winning lineups.
This is one of those games where he can either explode and he might be the winning lineup, or he's going to be so far ahead where he's not going to be throwing.
Yeah, I can't guess which receiver to pair him up with. It could be Deontay Johnson. It could be Claypool. It could be Ebron. It could be James Washington. It could be anybody.
Yeah, it could be both. You could pair Ben with 2 of them.
So I'm going to just say I'm on Big Ben, but guess whatever receiver you want to get. And then Connors, he just keeps flopping on big matchups, and I'm not chasing bait this week.
Like I said, if they're going to be in the lead, they're going to run the ball more than
but
so
I don't know. He scares me still.
Yeah.
Scares me.
And you always have Snell that might vote.
I just think Big Ben is just built for these kind of games, and he's just going to pass over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So the only thing I like on Jaguars,
Claypool, I feel like is one of these guaranteed touchdowns. He's not my guaranteed touchdown of the week, but he's close.
So the only thing I like on Jacksonville is DJ Chalk and Chris Conley. But with that against the Steelers defense,
you can talk about the Jaguars. I'm not playing
against the Steelers defense. I'm not going to have too many shares of them.
Yeah. Next game up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Washington Football Team. The Washington Football Team are a 1.5 point favorite. The over and under is 47 points. Not many injuries in this one. The only one note about is Joe Mixon is out, and so it's Giovanni Bernard season.
All right.
All right. I'm not
not-
high. I'm not high in this game.
No, I was going to let you talk about it because I'm not particularly high on it.
Okay.
I think
Do you want me to start off then?
The biggest thing I want to talk about is how over the last 2 weeks, McKissick leads the NFL in targets with 29
Yes.
targets.
God bless Alex Smith for making this huge comeback in his
He's
career.
looked incredible. Over 700 yards in the past 2 games.
Yes.
Only 1 touchdown.
Yes. I mean, he's not throwing the ball far at all. He's throwing these little dumb passes to J.D. McKissick. That's crazy that he leads the NFL in this time period.
Yep.
You know, to guys like Devontae Adams.
But I know you're high on Alex Smith, and he's only about
Coming into this week.
He's only about 5% owned.
All right, so that means I'm all over him. I like Alex Smith a lot. It's just hard to pair. I don't know. I mean, I like Logan Thomas. I like J.D. McKissick. I like.
You like Gibson?
I do, but I'm talking about pairing up with Alex Smith wise. I like McKissick, and I like Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas. That's it.
Yeah.
The Sims guy, the other receiver Sims. What's his name? Chris Sims.
Steve Sims?
Steven Smith Sims.
Yeah.
Yes, Cam Sims. Yeah. He's looking interesting as well. So there's options. But I do love Alex Smith. He's one of my GPP throws at quarterback this week. If he's going to be under 5%, I love it.
One thing about McLaurin is he does lead the entire NFL in air yards.
Wow. So yeah. Scary Terry, Alex Smith, great pairing right there. You can't go wrong. But don't forget about Logan Thomas. And then on Cincinnati with Joe Mixon out, Giovanni Bernard, right? Giovanni Bernard. I'm not going to be high on him because the Washington does have a good front seven. So if he's going to get passes out the backfield, there's a possibility he does get a touchdown. Joe Burrow, I'm not going to fade Joe Burrow.
I actually love Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I'm not going to fade Joe Burrow. Do you want to talk about Joe Burrow?
He just throws the ball. He gets like 30. He gets like 40 attempts a game. Like that's just point production. I love it.
No, I'm gonna be on Joe Burrow for sure.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about who you like with Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow. I do like Tyler Boyd. I think he leads still that team with 21% of target share and 11 red zone targets. He has a price drop on DK, I believe. But I think that's a bit of an overreaction from last game. He's still the lead back, the lead receiver there. Not the lead. I'm sorry, Higgins is actually the lead. But Boyd is. It's like they're tied. I don't know. Either way, it can be Higgins or Boyd that just goes off. I love T Higgins actually. Lock them all. Give me a 3-way stack. Joe Burrow, Higgins, Boyd. I love it.
All right. Wow. Okay. That's a bold one. I'm with you though. Love Burrow this week. You can't go home with either T Higgins or Tyler Boyd.
T Higgins does have a tough matchup against Kendall Fuller.
Yeah, but T Higgins looks very athletic. He looks good out there, and he's athletic enough to get around Fuller. So I'm not worried about that. But yeah, Cincinnati is going to be good. It might not be this year, but in years to come, we're going to be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, T Higgins, all these Tyler Boyd,
Yep.
Joe Mixon, Giovanni Bernard. We're going to be talking about these guys in a couple years. But with this game coming on, Joe Burrow is another good target.
In closing on this game, I know Washington is in first against the pass, but that doesn't scare me against Joe Burrow.
No. The Tennessee Titans versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are a 6-point favorite. Over and under is 50 points. Injuries, not too many. For the Ravens is Calais Campbell out, doubtful. And then for the Tennessee Titans, Javon, how do you say his name?
Clowney?
Clowney, Adam Humphries, and Adoree Jackson are all out.
You're a mess.
Yes, I am. So yes, this is a big game though.
It is because the Titans knocked the Ravens out of the playoffs last year.
Yes, so this is a revenge game for the Ravens.
It is definitely a revenge game.
Yes,
they need to play a lot better than they've been playing. They've been playing the defense pretty hard.
I know. What do you like in this game?
Oh man, nobody. I don't know. I'm not too heavy on this game. I like AJ Brown. I don't like Derrick Henry.
AJ Brown will be going against Marlon Humphreys, by the way.
Yeah. Juno Smith is a touchdown or bust. Corey Davis, GPP. If you're doing multiple entries in GPP, some lines should have AJ Brown, some lines should have Corey Davis, but not in all your lines. Maybe like, 30-40% of your lines. Lamar Jackson, He should have a good game this week. Hopefully, if he keeps, if he runs the ball steady, because he can't throw it to save his life. He's fucking god awful. When it comes to the choosing which running back, Dobbins, Edwards, or Mark Ingram, just like I said, multiple entry and have a split. It's hard. J.K. Dobbins is always the one you want to look at because he's the rookie. He's the future of the team. So it's a matter of time before they start giving him the main carries. I'm completely off Marquise Brown. He's a fantastic receiver, but Jackson just can't get him the ball. He's just not that guy. Willie Snead would be a better pick than him. Willie Snead's been going off.
Yes, Willie Snead is looking pretty sneaky these days.
And he's going up against Desmond King. And then
Desmond King from the Chargers. I forgot about that.
And then you have Mark Andrews, who's also been boom or bust, and it's been more bust than boom.
It's hard to it's hard to predict the Baltimore Ravens offense. Obviously, it runs through Lamar Jackson. If the running game isn't working, they have to pass. So then that's where it's hard to predict what Lamar Jackson is going to show up.
So I think this is where you just have to. If you want to choose this game, you have to look at these stats. Baltimore Ravens are 31st passing the ball, but they're first in running the ball.
Okay.
While Tennessee Titans are 6th running, 24th passing. Then you look at the defenses. You have Baltimore Ravens, which is 7th against the pass, 11th against the rush. And they are second best at stopping the third down. But then you look at the Tennessee, they're 28th against the pass, 17th against the rush, and they're 31st against stopping the third down. So this is where the running game is really going to come into play, especially with Clowney out. You need pieces of this running game in order to really do something, I think. It's just going to be so hard to choose which one. I guess Lamar Jackson, but I just like so many other quarterbacks this week, I just don't see me playing him.
Yeah, no. Lamar Jackson is going to be interesting. I'm not going to be on him this week, but wouldn't be surprised he's in the winning lineup. But, Willie Snead, if you want to keep going on the Hollywood Brown train, go for it. It's not a bad option. But, yeah, for the Titans, man, I don't know. We didn't talk about the Titans that much.
Like I said, I think it's just A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. You just need those.
Tannehill. Are you on Tannehill?
If you're doing single entries, I'm not using any single one of them. No, I'm not on Tannehill.
No, you're just more on the receivers, A.J. Brown and Corey Davis?
Just not on this game.
All right, yeah, me too. It's going to be a good game, though, in real life. And,
it's going to be a fun game to watch for sure.
Definitely, for sure. Next game up, the Denver Broncos, my beloved Denver Broncos, man. We're just not looking good right now.
Not looking good. Who they playing?
All right, we got the Miami Dolphins this week. The Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are a 4-point favorite. The over and under is 46 points. The injuries to note about for the Denver Broncos, Drew Lock, limited practice, questionable, but it looks like he's going to give it a go tomorrow. For the Dolphins, Van Noy, limited practice, questionable. Preston Williams and Myles Gaskins is out. Start us off.
I think the main thing you got to talk about is that little quote that Tua said during the week where he said, I expected it to be a lot harder. He said something like, this isn't as hard as he thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Big words for a little rookie.
Yeah.
It's been words, especially for someone who's not been playing like a perfection. Like, he's done some errors.
And that's very bold of him to say. I mean, it's only his third game.
And Denver, they know that. They probably have it right on their bulletin board.
Yeah, I hope so. This should give him some motivations to play better because our defense is, I don't know.
Now last week...
We do have injuries. I won't say we have injuries.
Last week, you called Jakeem Grant. You called him for a touchdown, a great play, and he was a great play last week. And I'm back on him again this week, especially against your shit-ass Broncos. But, so last week, 2 different running backs scored 2 touchdowns against your Broncos. So you know what that means this week?
Who?
Ahmed. All over Ahmed. He's going to do it, I'm telling you. He's going to get 2 touchdowns this week.
Nah, stop it.
You're right. 3 touchdowns this week against your boys. He is going to be in the GPP winning lineup. Sorry, not sorry. I absolutely love the Dolphins defense against your boys this week. So I love pairing a defense with a running back. It's one of my favorite things to do as a stack. So Ahmed and Dolphins are going to be in like at least 75% of my lines. Across the field on your Broncos, I think the only guy I like is KJ Hamler, who's going to be in the slot against majority Nick Needham, who's pretty ass. And that's it. I don't like anyone on your team. Sorry. What do you like? Tell me, how are your running back situation over there?
Melvin Gordon is my favorite. Out of the two, Lindsey is good and scrappy, but he gets the more of the longer rushes. But Melvin Gordon, when it comes to goal line work, he gets the carries. And Broncos is just too inconsistent. I'm just talking from the heart. I love my Broncos, but Drew Lock is just inconsistent at this stage of his career. He's young. Makes a lot of good plays, makes a lot of bad plays. Typical young quarterback. But he's going against Tua, so there's a lot of good young quarterbacks right now. And these are two, we'll see what Drew Lock comes with, but definitely Tua for sure. Definitely going to be a great quarterback, but, we'll see what Drew Lock can do. But not to drag this along, I don't know. The Denver Broncos don't look good, so I think the Dolphins are going to see what Tua can do. And I think Devontae Parker could have a good game, Jakeem Grant. Those are my favorite targets for the Dolphins. I'm staying away from your Ahmed or whatever.
3 touchdowns guaranteed.
Matt Breida, whoever the running backs are for the Dolphins, I'm fading. But for the Broncos, KJ Hamler is a good call. Going against one of those that cornerback you called out, not a good one at all. Melvin Gordon, I'm fading the running game. I'm gonna go with mainly Drew Lock, Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler. Jerry Jeudy, but he's going against one of the tougher cornerbacks.
I forgot his name.
Byron Jones, these other guys, but yeah, I'm not high on the Broncos this week or Dolphins. Next up, we got the New York Jets versus the LA Chargers. The LA Chargers are a 9.5 point favorite. The over and under is 46.5 points. The injuries for the Chargers. All these guys are out. Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson, Darwin James, Mike Pouncey, and Derwin James. And for the Jets, Sam Darnold is trash. And he's out. But we still got to talk about the game.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this game.
Heavy on the Chargers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's funny, though, is I'm not too heavy on the defense, though. Flacco under center has made these Jets a little bit better.
Okay.
Interesting.
Trash. Very, very interesting.
Still a dumpster fire. Gase is still there. But speaking of Gase, look at all these players who leave Gase and become better. Drake, Devontae Parker, and now look at Kalen Ballage over there on the Chargers. Last year in Miami, Ballage was one of the worst, and he wasn't even with Gase last year. He was one of the worst running backs I ever saw play the game of professional football ever. And this year, he is mediocre, which is a million times better than last year. But Ballage is in play against the Jets, and I'm sure he wants to show Gase that, he was better than when Gase was there. And I'm all with it. I love it.
Jets are trash.
I absolutely love Kalen Ballage this week. And if I think
you love Kalen,
I love Kalen Ballage this week. And if the game is going to be close,
oh boy, you're making me laugh, man.
Like I said, the Jets are going to put up a little fight, which means I absolutely love Justin Herbert, who has just lit everybody up this year, and he's going to continue to do so. Keenan Allen is going to continue to be. He was kind of a dud last week, but he's going to fucking kill it this week.
Okay. I like Keenan Allen. I love Herbert. I'm not on the Ballage train, though.
Not on the Ballage train?
No.
That's fine.
I like Mike Williams.
You like Mike Williams?
I like Hunter Henry. I like everybody on the Chargers besides Ballage.
I think that's a mistake, because if they're in the lead, Ballage is going to get the run.
All right. We'll see what happens. Keep going. Jets. Flacco doesn't look washed up yet, but he's still a statue. He's not mobile.
He's still a statue for sure.
Yeah. So
they finally said that P. Ryan is going to get the heavy workload over Frank Gore. So that's going to be interesting. We'll see.
But I'm fading that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to even like him because he's still under Gase.
Frank Gore will still get 10 rushes for no reason.
Yeah. I want to say that Crowder was still a little injured last week. That's why he only got targeted twice. He should be good to go this week. While he was crippled, Denzel Mims was looking really good finally. I know you've been big on him all year.
I like him.
Basad Perryman was looking good.
Yes, 2 touchdowns.
The Jets, the offense is coming around. I just I can't trust any of them.
I know I said Darnold was trash, but he's not really trash.
No, he's trash.
But he's going to have weapons when he comes back.
So right now the Jets are 29th against the pass. They're 18th against the rush. They're 30th points per game. So they allow over 29 points, 29.8 to be exact. They suck at stopping the third down. On offensive rise, they're dead last in the passing game. That should be a little better this week with Flacco with a full spread of weapons. They're like 27th in the rush. I can't. The Chargers have a much better offense, and I think you're right. I think it's just a way to stack up on them.
Yes, I'm fading the Jets. I think Joe Flacco is going to put up stats, but nothing that's going to be game changing enough for me to use them in any of my lineups. But for the Jets, I do like Mims, receiver. Who else? I got something in my throat. Sorry. Perriman, but yeah, I'm not gonna be high on the Jets, but for the Chargers, Herbert, the running game, I like that. I want to hope that you're right, but yeah, Blige, I'm fading him. But I like Mike Williams. I like Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's gonna be chalk, but Mike Williams want to be different. Hunter Henry hasn't been doing much this year. We'll see, but yeah, I don't know. The Jets, I do like the receivers, but maybe this is not the game to play them. But when Sam Darnold comes, and we'll see. He's still trash though. All right, next game up, we got Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. The Detroit Lions are 2-point favorite with a 46.5 point under and over. Injuries, a couple of them for the Lions. Let's see here. DeAndre Swift, Danny Amendola, Kenny Golladay are all out. And Matthew Stafford, limited practice, questionable, but looks like he's going to give it a go for tomorrow. And for the Panthers, these two guys are out. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey and Dante Jackson. And then Teddy Bridgewater, limited practice, questionable.
Yep.
What do you... not one of my favorite games.
Let's just talk about that after the bat. Teddy Bridgewater did practice yesterday, and he looked good. So there's optimistic about him playing, but he still might not. If he doesn't, it's going to be P.J. Walker. The interesting thing about that is all three, the coach, P.J. Walker, and Robbie Anderson, all played in Temple. The coach was the coach, obviously, and Robbie Anderson was P.J. Walker's go-to guy on Temple. So that's kind of interesting how it all came back around to here. I do have interest in P.J. Walker at his price for GPP purposes. I think that'll be kind of sneaky. I'm sure other people are going to be on it, pairing up with Robbie Anderson. Mike Davis should have a bounce back week. He's had a couple down ones, but he's in a smash spot here. I like him even more if P.J. Walker starts. If Teddy Bridgewater is in, I still like the same guys. I still like Robbie Anderson. I still like Mike Davis. I'm just not totally into this game fully. Who's out? I was on the passing game, but if Matt Stafford's thumb is really as bad as it's looking, I'm really off both Marvin Hull and Marvin Jones, even though they're in pretty good spots. I do love Adrian Peterson and Kerryon Johnson though.
Woo!
In all the lineups I'll be doing, I'm gonna have an even amount of Kerryon Johnson and Adrian Peterson. Maybe I'm gonna say about 60% of my lines.
Wow.
So
that's over half.
So if I'm doing 100 lines, I'm gonna have 30 Kerryon Johnson, 30 Adrian Peterson. I really think they're both in smash spots. I think they're both gonna be fantastic tomorrow. We're just gonna see which one is gonna be the lead. Other than that, I'm not really totally on this game.
Yeah, me either.
I think the only thing to really look at is the defense on both these teams really suck. Carolina's is a little better, but Detroit's rushing defense is 30th. That's how bad it is. There's gonna be points put up, especially with both defenses being bad. There's gonna be points put up. What's your take?
Fading this game, but since we have to talk about it for the Lions with DeAndre Swift out, this running game is intriguing. Kerryon Johnson was once upon a time a good running back not too long ago. We were high on him not too long ago. AP is AP. He's not the young AP, but at the end of the career, they're still gonna give him carries. So this could be a game where AP can get 15, 20 carries.
Yeah.
But the other dude is going to get, what's his name, is going to get carries too. Kerryon Johnson. So don't forget about him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But and besides that, Marvin Jones and Marvin Hall. Yeah, he can have shares on him, but I don't know. I'm not too like sold on him.
Yeah, and then obviously with Amendola out, that other guy, I think his name is Cephas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will be in play for deeper GPPs.
Yeah, and T.J. Hawkinson, I didn't mention him either.
Oh,
Actually, not
Hawkinson
a
might
good.
be
Hawkinson's
fantastic.
a good play.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, I didn't mention him before.
And-
T.J. Hawkinson,
And the returning Desmond Trufant, who's only played 4 games, is going to see Anderson, but I don't think that really matters. Trufant hasn't been, even in the 4 games he played, hasn't been good.
yeah, and I didn't mention much about the Panthers, but if I was to choose anybody, Mike Davis is a good spot. CMC is out once again. We don't know when he's coming back, but Mike Davis is he fumbled a couple games, but he still has all these targets and he's getting targeted a lot in the passing game. Mm-hmm. So you can't just fade him.
Right.
So that's my call. All right, the next game up, we got the Green Bay Packers versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are a 1.5 point favorite. Over and under is 51.5 points. Injuries, not many. Colts have none to mention, and then Alan Lazard, limited practice, questionable. Looks like he's coming back, and then AJ Dillon has COVID.
Okay.
So I don't know. Well, how do you want to?
It's interesting because the Colts are second against the pass, but this is also Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know how much that's really going to come into effect. He's got Lazard back.
Okay.
And one thing, Devontae Adams is going up against Xavier Rhodes, who he has smoked every single time ever played. He's like a lock. He's definitely a lock in cash games. A lot of people talking about him. He's heavy owned. And if he's going to be heavy owned and people think he's going to be good, then there's not reason to fade Aaron Rodgers, even against this defense. Mm-hmm. I'm not so much on Tanya anymore now that Lazard is back.
Yeah, me either.
And MVS has been looking really good. I know MVS is going against Rocky Sin, who's is a good matchup. And Lazard might come back with a good one. Aaron Jones should have a great game because he not only can rush, he has the receiving ability. Jamal Williams can always vulture a touchdown.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Looking across the field, looks like Hines is going to be the starter. And if he starts off bad, you're going to see some Jonathan Taylor and some Wilkins.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really hard to try and figure out that one.
Three-headed monster.
It's going to be really hard to figure that one out. T.Y. Hilton's going to see J.R. Alexander. Mm-hmm. I think Pittman is the way to go.
Yeah.
And I'm completely staying away from all those random tight ends that they have. I really don't like Rivers, but I guess he's a solid choice.
GPPs for sure. Philip Rivers is going to be a nice option. Just pairing him up is the hard part. T.Y. Hilton looks like he's fading away in NFL receiver. He hasn't been doing. Yeah, he's just fading away. Michael Pittman is starting to take over for them. Love him this week.
Yep.
Zach Pascal is a good option. Paris Campbell, when he comes back eventually, is a good option. Yeah. But he's not playing this week. But they have options. It's just Philip Rivers sometimes shows his age, and just getting around. Philip Rivers had a great career. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and bash him.
Looking at the Colts defense, they're second against the pass. They're fourth against the rush, and they're fourth against points per game.
Yeah, they have a really good defense.
They allow 19.7 points.
Yeah,
a game.
So Aaron Rodgers is.
It's a test, but
it's a test, but it's Aaron Rodgers. He's not fucking around, and I want to know his ownerships tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Because that'd be a very good GBP spot to just lock in Aaron Rodgers against a solid, stout defense like the Colts.
Yeah.
So for the Colts, Hines does look like a good option, but I'm not gonna chase these running backs. I don't like these teams that have 3 running backs. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love Hines for his price if I knew he was gonna get the full workload.
Yes, and. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. The tight ends for the Colts, do you like any of them?
Nope, not at all. Like I said, I'm just
Jack
really
Doyle.
on...
Jack Doyle's... Yeah, Jack Doyle's... They're all in. They're all playing.
Yeah.
So, Trey Burton...
I guess for this game, I'm just on Devontae Adams for sure.
Mo Alley Cox.
Nope, no tight ends for me.
No. Okay.
There's other tight ends I like over them. For this game, I just like Aaron Rodgers, Pittman...
Are you going to be on Alan Lazard?
I'll have some Alan Lazard, some locked-in Devontae Adams, some Aaron Jones.
Marquise Valdez?
I'll have a few of him, too. I love his matchup, like I said earlier.
And Aaron Jones?
And some Aaron Jones and some Jamal Williams.
Okay, there you go. All right. Last game up. We got, what's the last game? The Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings are a 7-point favorite. The over and under is 48.5 points.
Should have made that a 14-point favorite.
Yeah. So.
No, Dalton's back.
Yeah, not many injuries actually. Travion Diggs is out, the cornerback, rookie cornerback for the Cowboys, and for the Vikings, Irv Smith is questionable. But it looks like he's gonna play. So
looks like a pretty healthy game.
yeah, I mean Anthony Barr and them are still out for the Vikings, but the Vikings have been playing a lot better lately. What are you on a 3-game winning streak?
So
Yeah. So all right, let's. What are you liking in this game, if anything?
I do like all the receivers on the Cowboys just because they're cheap.
Yeah.
And
Andy Dalton's back, by the way.
Yep.
He just recovered from COVID.
Yeah.
And
So, like I said, the Minnesota's secondary is awful. So the three, if I'm gonna choose one of the receivers, I like Gallup because he's on the field more than the other two.
Okay. I like that call.
On the Vikings, Justin Jefferson and Thielen are both like two of my favorite plays this week. And Dalvin Cook is
Dalvin Cook is going to be the chalkiest running back.
I don't care how expensive he is, lock him in, especially in cash. Cash, he has to be a lock.
Yeah, if you don't have him in cash, you're not. You just might as well not play cash.
And on FanDuel, if you're going Taysom Hill at tight end, you can afford to put Dalvin Cook in your lineup.
Yeah, he's 10-5 in FanDuel.
Yeah.
This week.
Who do you like this?
Dalvin Cook for sure. And if I'm doing 20 lineups, I'm putting Dalvin Cook in 20 lineups.
Okay.
So I'm all in on Dalvin Cook. There's a chance where Kirk Cousins can just go off and he can just be thrown into fucking Adam Thielen and fucking Justin Jefferson. But at the end of the day, Dalvin Cook, the offense runs through him. He's definitely getting at least 2 touchdowns. At least.
I think Vikings win. I think he'll be in the lead. So I really like Dalton.
I will get to the Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, let me get with the Cowboys now. I do like Andy Dalton now. So going to the other side. So if this is a great game stack, a very good game stack. Yep. You pick players you like from the Vikings and you're running back with Cowboys. And with Andy Dalton coming back, I like that. That makes the Cowboys a better offensive team with him at quarterback. So these guys like CeeDee Lamb are back to fantasy relevance. Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second. So yeah, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper are back on the fantasy map. So I'm back on those guys. Zeke Elliott. Not so much. I'm more on Andy Dalton and the receivers than Zeke Elliott.
Zeke Elliott's clocked out. He's checked out this season.
And so, yeah, both defenses. I'm not on both defenses in this game. Mainly on all the offensive weapons on both teams.
What defense? Look at, you have the Dallas Cowboys as 31st against the rush, and you have the Minnesota 27th against the pass. There's no defense.
Yeah, so definitely not on the defense. All the offensive weapons are in play.
Absolutely. You can definitely stack multiple Dallas receivers. Exactly. You can stack both Minnesota's receivers.
Exactly.
This is a great fantasy game. All right, that about does it for today. I'm just going to go over like I always do. Contest selection is an absolute must. Hit those single entries, hit those 3 max entries, and for the love of God, do those cash games and keep the bankroll green. For new listeners, I just want to explain that bankroll. If you're doing cash games, do as much cash games as you do in GPPs. If you're doing $100 in GPPs, make sure you do $100 in cash. Because if your GPPs fail, at least you get all that money back in cash games. And this way, your bankroll never drops. It is constantly either staying the same or going green. So cash games are huge. Especially I love them on FanDuel more than DK. DK is more my GPP thing. Then, Super Draft. Super Draft has been phenomenal with cash games this year. But get over that.
Super Draft.
Get on that before.
That's the new wave. That's the new wave.
Get on that before more people jump on it. But do me a favor, guys. Can you please subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, your sister's sister. Tell everybody. We're taking over. It's the new age. It's the rebellion.
Yes, sir.